Welcome to the Case Study Series in Human Resource Management by Skilled MBA. In this session, we explore the complexities of digital monitoring in the modern workplace, specifically within HDFC Bank, India's leading private sector bank. At the center of this case is Anurag Mishra, branch head of HDFC Bahrain, who faces the challenge of balancing productivity monitoring with employee mental well-being. This case raises critical HR questions about privacy, trust, stress, and the ethical use of workplace surveillance. By the end of this case, learners will be able to understand the implementation and purpose of digital monitoring in banking, evaluate how monitoring affects employee behavior and organizational performance, assess the impact of monitoring on stress, anxiety, and well-being, explore strategies to balance trust building with performance control in workplace culture. HDFC Bank is one of India's largest financial institutions. The case focuses on the Bahrain branch, under the leadership of Anurag Mishra. The banking industry demands high compliance, making monitoring essential. HDFC utilizes digital surveillance systems to track work efficiency, prompting debates about employee autonomy and psychological health. Intended benefits: prevent misuse of resources, maintain productivity and compliance, enable real-time performance tracking, facilitate data-driven decisions. Unintended consequences: elevated stress and anxiety, perceived invasion of privacy, fear of job loss, a real-life lawsuit by an employee citing mental health harm due to surveillance. Digital monitoring in banking surveillance used to enforce discipline and efficiency. Mental well-being and stress, psychological costs of constant observation. Trust and culture: monitoring erodes trust and harms morale. Balancing control and autonomy, striking the right level of oversight without harming well-being. Strengths: promotes accountability, optimizes resource usage. Weaknesses: elevates stress and reduces engagement. Opportunities: mental health programs, balance surveillance policies. Threats: employee burnout, legal risks and attrition. Productivity gains: better task focus, reduced idle time. Financial costs: investment in software, ongoing system maintenance. Human costs: stress-related leave, reduced engagement, higher turnover. HR leaders must evaluate short-term efficiency versus long-term employee health and sustainability. Stakeholder key concerns: likely responses, employees' privacy, stress, job insecurity, resistance, disengagement management. Productivity, resource use, enforcement of policy. HR department, legal compliance, mental health policy review, wellness programs. Legal team, lawsuits, privacy law violations, risk mitigation, regulation compliance. Utilitarianism: does the benefit of monitoring outweigh harm to employee well-being? Rights-based ethics: does surveillance infringe on employees' right to privacy? Virtue ethics: does the organization act with trust, empathy, and respect? These frameworks offer ethical lenses for evaluating monitoring practices beyond legality and performance. Before monitoring: higher trust, lower stress, stronger job satisfaction. After monitoring: lower trust scores, increased stress indicators, higher turnover intention. HR analytics clearly show that surveillance without support harms employee engagement and retention. How does monitoring affect employee mental health long-term? How can HDFC balance compliance with trust and privacy? What ethical boundaries must not be crossed? How can managers prevent surveillance from damaging workplace culture? Less invasive monitoring: pros: reduces stress, builds trust. Cons: may not deter all misuse. Employee wellness programs. Pros: improves mental health. Cons: requires sustained investment. Transparent communication. Pros: reduces suspicion and fear. Cons: needs consistency and leadership buy-in. Critical task monitoring: focus only on sensitive transactions. Autonomy for routine tasks, less oversight where risk is low. Feedback loops: include employee voice in system design. Outcome evaluation: shift from micromanagement to performance-based appraisal. This approach provides balance, ensuring compliance without compromising well-being. Policy development involves HR, legal, and compliance teams must balance fairness and effectiveness. Technology integration requires training and ethical use guidelines. Cultural adaptation. Transitioning from control-driven to trust-based environments is difficult and slow change management is essential. Wise dos dos. Monitoring must be strategic and ethical. Employee mental health is linked to retention and productivity. Open communication rebuilds trust. Surveillance must evolve toward balance, not dominance. HR leaders play a vital role in guiding policy, tech, and culture change. Thank you for exploring digital monitoring and mental well-being in banking, presented as part of the case study series in Human Resource Management by Skilled MBA. This case reminds us that while monitoring may be a performance tool, it also shapes the emotional climate of an organization. Trust, transparency, and empathy must guide any system that watches people at work. We hope this case challenges you to rethink how HR can lead ethical, balanced, and high-performing cultures in a digital age.